some more.
Thanks, man. I don't know what that meant, but thank you. Cephas, I'm going to ask you a question in a second too, but so let me say from the jump, this is a collaboration that I'm doing with Teachers Connect. There's a whole bunch of other people that are doing this collaboration also that are answering the same questions. You can find all the links to those people below. You can also find a link to Teachers Connect below, and then you go on there and you connect with teachers, which is why it's called Teachers Connect and not, never mind, that joke was lame. I'm going to enlist the help of Ta, who just came back from like 3 weeks out. So, question 1. What strategies do you use to reach or motivate your students? What strategies do you think work best that teachers use to motivate kids? Especially kids that don't want to be motivated.
Joking around with them.
Joking around with them?
Yeah, like making jokes.
So you like when I make fun of you?
Yeah.
In class. That's good to know. That's my go-to answer, is like being able to use humor in the classroom. I think using humor, if you're funny, if you're not funny, don't try and make jokes, but like lean into whatever is natural for you and your personality. I think that, and I think motivating kids by talking about things that they're already interested in. So, Ta, that's not his real name, this is his initials. What do we talk about all the time?
Basketball, stuff like that.
We don't talk about basketball. I don't know anything about sports.
Yes, you do. Well,
what was the only video game we talk about?
Oh, Fortnite.
Fortnite. All day.
Fortnite, and like sometimes other video games, like a little bit of fighting games.
You're correct. But maybe you could mumble more, because we want people to not be able to hear us. Question number 2: How do you reach and or motivate difficult to reach or misbehaving students? How do I motivate difficult to reach students? I think by finding out what their motivation is, right? Like every kid has a why, right? They have a why as to why they are misbehaving or why they are behaving, why they try hard in class or why they don't try hard in class. And I think when you can learn a student's why, then you can figure out how to work with them. And so if I know that a student is in foster care, or they had someone in their family was hurt or in the hospital, if I know that someone is really motivated because their parents care, because their parents don't care, like those are all things I can lean into. And once you know that about a kid, you can help them kind of navigate some of those waters by either supporting them if they're super motivated, or if they're not so motivated, you can support them through that and let them know that somebody cares about them. And I think that's that simple. Student numero dos, Lil Mimi.
Hey, how you doing?
So the third question is, how important is it to know each student's backstory? Is it important for teachers to know who you are?
I think that it is important for teachers to know who you are, because of the fact that like when you're dealing with students, you're dealing with a one-on-one basis. So you need to know how like the student is feeling, how the student feels on a daily basis, what struggles and what like daily problems they're going through in the household. Like some students are different from other students. So
is there a way that teachers have done this in the past, like gotten to connect with you, that you thought was effective? Or are there any ways that like people have tried and they're just like, bro, this isn't working?
One way I feel like it doesn't work is when you force the person. Sometimes it does take for the students to open up when they're ready. Like, you just can't make someone do something.
Yeah.
You have to be,
That's a good answer. Mimi was FaceTiming with his girlfriend in class. Not his girlfriend, because it's not like that. His lady friend in class.
Oh my God.
And I got in on the call yesterday. If she watches this, hi.
Hey, Layla.
That was good. She's going to love that. She's going to be like, oh, guys, 7 nights. It's my life's important right now. I'm in the middle of shooting something.
I'm trying to get my man some extra credit so he can get that higher grade point average.
He doesn't even come to school half the time. How important is it that I know students' backstory? It's 100% important, I think, for every single student, because you can't, like I just said, like you just can't teach a kid without really knowing who they are. And some kids are more forthcoming like that, like little Mimi said, and then other kids aren't, and you just never want to force someone. You just give them, you can ask questions. If they don't want to answer them, then that's cool. Don't ever pressure someone to do it. And how do I get that information to get a kid's backstory? Just ask them questions. Hi, Cho. Cho, want to be in a video real quick? It'll be awesome. Cho, you're so much smaller than I am. Here, I'll try and do this. How important is it for you to know a student's backstory?
That is probably one of the most important parts of teaching. Because if you don't understand where a kid is coming from, number one, you can't plan to meet them where they're at. At the same time, like if something's going on outside of school, like sometimes concentrating on school is like the last thing on a kid's mind, and to really get them to understand how important it is, backstory is everything.
How do you get to know kids?
I mess with them and I scare them, and then they for some reason like me anyway. And then they share information. I don't really know what that formula is for me.
We're like twins if twins were completely opposite.
Yes, Reynolds.
How much taller I am than you?
Why do you have to rub that in?
I don't know.
I'm Asian.
Oh.
Number 4, can relationships with parents help or hurt? Relationships with parents always help. Sometimes what that really helps with is it becomes, you don't have the child as the middleman, right? The child is not the person that's connecting you and the parent. I think if you're going to have a relationship with a parent, have a full-on connected relationship with a parent. Call them every so often. Email them. Now, as a high school teacher, I don't do this as much because I want my students to start self-advocating. I don't want their parents to just advocate for them. So I don't call home so much. I don't reach out if we're having a problem in class because I want that relationship between the student and I to be between us. And if I need help, I would go to another teacher or to administration first and not directly to the parent. Now look, this works for some people and it doesn't work for other people. But I have found as a high school teacher that students that if I call home, it's like it sort of exacerbates the situation more than it helps to calm down the situation. It's not to say that I don't call home, but I use that as a last resort. To tag on to that, I think it's important to remember that although we spend full days with these students, we do not know the student like the parent knows. Parents have been raising them since they were babies. They know how their kids act. They know what sets them off and what soothes them. They know how they learn. They know how they connect or don't connect with other people. So I find that if I do call home, it's not to just report problems, but to say, here's what's going on in class. How would you handle this? Or how have you seen this handled before? And so the parents can share that wealth of knowledge that they have about their own kid. Number 5, have you ever planned to see students outside of school activities? Bro, seriously? In the middle of something. Do you think it's weird if teachers and students see one another outside of school?
Oh, no. It's weird if you perceive it as a weird thing. If it's something like basic, it's like let's just say that me and you, we go out to eat one day, we're just sitting there talking, chilling, because me and you have just talks like regular people, despite the fact that you had the title of teacher or the title of student, we just talk like basic humans, like humans talk. So I feel like if you perceive it as a weird thing,
it'd be like if someone gave you a ride home from school every day.
Yeah, but not today.
All right. What is? Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I got Saturday night with Saunders.
All right,
so
fantastic. Right, so we talk all the time
of
about
course.
different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that relationship doesn't get weird?
If
could I still call you on your stuff if I needed to? And
yeah, of course.
So how does it not get weird? People are always asking me and the question, what they're asking, what Teachers Connect is asking is sometimes people feel like if they try and build a relationship with a student, it's going to get too awkward or they're not going to be able to put their foot down. How do you stop that from happening?
I mean, I feel like you can't just be buddy 24/7. There are some days where a student going to be he or she don't get too comfortable and then try doing stuff that's out of hand or out of line. You just gotta nip it in the bud and shut it down. Yo, that wasn't chill. That was out of your boundaries. And I feel like freshman, I never stepped out boundaries with you.
No,
I never did with any teacher in general. But I feel like if I was in a situation where I said something that's out of line or I did something that's out of line, you'd be like, yo, Cephas.
All right, good answer. How do you stop relationships from going too far? This is a question that is asked amongst teachers all the time. I get emails like this all the time. I want to build relationships with students, but I'm a female, or I'm very close to their age, or I'm older than they are, or whatever kind of the reason is. I just don't think any of them are good enough. I think that you should build relationships with students, and I think that part of that is being able to have hard conversations, which is something I talk about on my channel a lot. When you can have a hard conversation with a student, then you can get through anything. I've been with my wife for 23 years, and the only reason we've been together for that long is because we've learned to have very difficult conversations when we needed to. I knew going in, I wasn't gonna have my feelings hurt. I wasn't gonna give up. It was no, I'm going into this I'm going into battle, but I wanna hear you, right? So I think it's about being able to put your foot down like you would with your kid, like you do with your dog. I just equate dogs with children. I did. Because it's a little bit the same. They do get all happy with me when I come in the door sometimes. I would not be afraid of it. And I would let the kids know, look, let me lay this out. This is what our relationship is. I want to get to know you. You are important to me. But bro, if I need to put you in your place, if I need to put my foot down, it's 100% going to happen because I really care about you. And that's what it comes down to. Let me just
Facts.
check. Let me add this little extra piece in here at the end here. My third year of teaching something like that, I have a student who's one of my favorite students of all time, Romina. And Romina's been on the channel. I did a whole interview with her one time. You can check it out on the channel if you want to. Romina is a very closed off student, very angry all the time. And she would not mind my telling you this. That's why I'm sharing this with you, because it has a happy ending. So Romina, I find out, has a birthday coming up, but she's not doing anything for it. And I just think that that's unacceptable. I tell my wife about this, and my wife says, you need to bring Romina home for dinner one night. So Romina and her friend Crystal come over to my house one night for dinner, and my wife went to the dollar store and spent like $20, and we had a birthday party for Romina. We had a cake, we had hats, we had streamers and balloons and confetti and all kinds of crap. My children were there with us. We all sang happy birthday to Romina, and we got her a little gift. And that literally, that act, that moment of her coming over, that time has cemented our relationship. And that was years ago. Romina's like, I don't know, like a grown woman now, and she still comes over. She's my kid's favorite babysitter. She comes over when she needs help with stuff. She'll call my wife or I when she's going through something. And that's the kind of relationships that I'm talking about here, that, you know, this doesn't happen with every kid, but every so often you get these relationships that last the years, that you find you get to watch them go through college and then go through life and figure out, you know, the workplace. And that is what you can get to, but you have to be able to have those difficult conversations that I've had with Romina any number of times, but it's only because you're not afraid of it. Now, am I saying, hey, start inviting children to your house and giving them cake? No, because that sounds weird initially. But I'm just saying, if you trust yourself and if you trust the kid, then I just think that building those relationships is endless possibilities. And you just remember that it's always only ever about the kids. That's it. You can find the rest of the videos linked below. And if you want to sign up for Teachers Connect, which is an online platform for teachers that is completely free, it is something that only educators are a part of, you can find that link below also. That's it, guys. Peace.